You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
If Busta ever try to front on me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show. Look, man, if they try to say that if you ever thought that the Busta Rhymes was better than me, you crazy. You crazy, man. You just looking at this the wrong way.
I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry and the headlines pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations, and the things that are coming forward with him?
I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. When that time manifests, then, we'll speak about this, hopefully when that time comes. As far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying, but I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things.
Man, I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody, I'm just chilling, you know what I'm saying? I go shopping, I give me a mean leather jacket, I think I'm doing my thing, I'm like, on my own little planet. I ain't with nobody. So always gotta try to one up on me, right? Have one up on me. I get a banging leather jacket, this Busta get a leather line up.
For weeks, fragments and casual comments circulated online. But the documentary brings everything together into one relentless narrative that gradually traps Busta Rhymes at the worst possible moment. What begins as light discussion about image, status, and who did what first rapidly turns into an intense fight for credibility. Once the internet chooses a villain, the timeline becomes a chaotic courtroom with no judge, no rules, and no mercy. In a world where perception moves faster than truth, how can the truth ever catch up?
Rhymes is visual artist. It's always been that. When Busta don't look like Busta, because Busta neck getting big and Busta belly is sticking out.
Tell him to change too big. Whoa, man. Tell that nigga's change too big. He ain't got no friends. They're not telling him.
Busta can't match up with 50. Is you crazy? Put that shit in front of me. You put that shit on the side. Put that shit behind me. Man, he's at a point where he just had a moment and everybody showing their appreciation for his run.
Bring up the 50 Cent for bringing us out there with him on that final lap tour. Did the first show July 21st. My last show was November 21st. He's still on that same tour.
Yeah, man.
He don't play with that work. Ever since he first came to Violator and the first Get Rich or Die Trying came out, he was the only one that would jump on a plane like the shit was a cab. This is how he was from the beginning.
There was a time when 50 Cent and Bua stood united, touring together, sharing wins, and protecting each other in a ruthless industry. The documentary captures the sudden change in that relationship, revealing how fast brotherhood can turn into careful distance when controversy arises. Loyalty in hip-hop is praised like something sacred, yet it's rarely tested so openly. When loyalty starts to feel like a weight, who stays? Real friends or just onlookers?
I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry and the headlines pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations, and the things that are coming forward with him?
I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. When that time manifests, then, we'll speak about this, hopefully when that time comes. As far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying, but I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, you know, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things.
One of the most unsettling truths here isn't just what was said, but how it was shaped. The documentary implies that modern conflicts aren't always natural. They're often designed for maximum exposure. A small comment turns into a viral clip. That clip evolves into a larger narrative, and that narrative becomes a source of profit. In this environment, truth isn't what's being sold. Attention is. So when the industry feeds on outrage, who actually benefits from staying genuine?
I've seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before
Oh yeah.
in some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before. You feel me? And being around him, you hear things. You feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan. You feel me? Like, every cookout she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that. Him and Craig Mack playing that. Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, I never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy.
The documentary steps into sensitive territory when rumors about identity, orientation, and personal life are presented as entertainment. It raises a wider cultural question. Has hip-hop matured enough to separate masculinity from ridicule and criticism from outright dehumanization?
The Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, that's common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this, bro.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How come you think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matter most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls.
The impact extends beyond reputation. It becomes social. Stigma travels faster than the truth. And when a joke has the power to ruin a life, was it ever truly just content?
One time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna kill you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. Nobody wants to kill these entertainers like that, bro. Like when I do my threat assessment, there's never an immediate threat of danger. It's never a situation that they're gonna tell me, oh, this person wants to murder me, or this person wants to bring harm on me. It's never like that. Them type of people be normal guys. So I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? Man, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. And then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like, you know, bro, most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't want to be themselves.
That's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to get the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So, and what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of. On God, seen it.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone.
50 doesn't debate like a politician. He moves like a tactician. The documentary presents his actions as calculated. Rapid responses, cutting punchlines, and high shareability. He understands a hard reality of the digital age. The strongest argument is often the one people keep replaying. Once the audience is laughing, the target has already lost the room. But when humor becomes a weapon, who decides what's fair?
You know Busta Rhymes came out, telling people to mind their business when it comes to Diddy, right?
You got to realize that Busta Rhymes and anybody in the industry could say what they want to say and speak on what they want to speak. They got a right to do that. Just like we got a right to. He can't tell nobody not to say this, not to say that, when he has the right to say what he want to say. And I guess that's why people coming out on Busta Rhymes saying he's zesty now, because he made comments like that. But I've been around Busta. I know Busta Rhymes. I don't never know him for being like that. But I don't know what other people see, and I'm not gonna speak on that. Because I don't care about that. See, a lot of people, if that's all he could give to the people, then that's all he giving to the people. But not one time, did he speak on his relationship with Diddy? Has he been to the Diddy party? Has he been to the after party? Did he say, well, I've never been to an after party, so y'all gotta wait to speak on, y'all gotta wait to see what they talking about before y'all speak on something?
Everything changes the moment Diddy comes into focus, not just as an individual, but as a symbol of power, access, and a memory that never fades. Bua's call for restraint around him feels to some like loyalty and respect, while to others, it comes across as hesitation influenced by pressure and unspoken fear.
I could say I've never been to an after party. Have I been to the front door of the party? Yeah. Have I been to the after party? Nah, never.
Never been to the freak off, son. I mean, since I've been knowing you, you've been consistent about that. So, I believe you, man. But you heard about these reports that Diddy having a hard time selling his Hollywood home. It's not attracting any buyers?
It probably wouldn't attract any buyers until after, a lot of times when tragedies happen and people be in those type of places with the energy going, it would be around 5 years before they go up on market and resell. Like if somebody murdered in the house, you got to realize they're not gonna go in there and somebody say, oh shit, I want to be here, man. Motherfucker was murdered in here. You understand? Those houses may not go up to sell for like 5 years.
Right. And what's going on with Tony Busby? I seen you make a comment saying that he might drop his cases.
I think that's a misunderstanding. What I'm saying to you is that he's gonna go with the cases that he know right off the bat that Puff is really probably ready to settle out
because it's so strong and the evidence may be so strong against Puff that he don't want that to run through the public or let the public hear those things. As a lawyer, he's going to say, these cases are strong enough for me to get the quick grab money and go about my business. And then if he gets enough money off of that, he may not have to do the other cases. He may drop the other people. It depends. He's gonna go with the strongest cases.
The documentary doesn't deliver a verdict, but it pushes viewers to question how often celebrity circles protect their own, whether openly or quietly. And when a scandal can no longer be contained, is the response guided by loyalty, courage, or simple self-preservation?
50. You know good and well that I woke up to this bullshit you done started this morning, and I was the one that was leaving everybody alone. So what you doing is giving niggas false narratives, homie. You talking about you just went to buy a leather jacket. You ain't bothering nobody. You left niggas alone. And I went and bought a leather fucking hairline. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. On some real G shit. Let me tell you something. You talking about that pimpin' curly that you was doing as a character? But no, you was doing pimpin' curly in real life too. Trying to look like Rico Suave or one of them niggas going down the red carpet at one of them movie shits that you was involved with. And I don't want you to use that as no excuse neither, talking about you was playing a character. You wasn't in character when you had to go down that red carpet. You could have got back to yourself, my nigga, but you chose to stay in character with that Rico Suave shit, some berries and sweet juices you had up in your head top, my nigga. Now, I do want you to know, I'm your brother, so I'm gonna always support you and everything you do. I ain't been doing nothing but that since the inception of our friendship. Violate up. Now, with that being said, I got one question to the masses. There's several products that you have to incorporate to get your shit to look like Rico 50. All right? Fuck Rico Suave. We talking about Rico 50. Let's see which one of the products that he used to get to looking like Rico 50. Was it this? Or was it this? Or was it this? Matter of fact, I think the real question is, did he blend all three of these shits to look like this? Chill. I got a grand prize for anyone that jumps in the comments, any consumer around the world that used to also use these products to help identify, doing a forensic deep dive and a research and a data analytics on those products to help us understand, was it a combined effort of all three, or was it a combined effort of two, or was it just one of them to get you to look like Rico 50? Now, with that being said, if you guess right what the blend was chemically for that motherfucking berry juice look for Rico 50, you might win a grand prize. Until then, just know, the blessings don't stop, so we gonna just keep this shit going as long as we need to, because if the blessings don't stop, I don't motherfucking stop, and we don't stop. Dragon season, bitches. Yeah.
The documentary captures the exact moment when humor shifts into discomfort, when entertainment turns into scrutiny. Once the audience senses something is off, the conversation becomes moral, and sponsors, peers, and collaborators start weighing their risks. The harsh truth of fame is that judgment always moves faster than understanding. So when the crowd turns, are they seeking justice or just chasing the next target?
Orlando Brown.
Back. What's up, bro?
Back again.
Yes, sir.
Man, how you doing?
I'm good. I had fun Saturday. It was amazing. I can't remember anything, but it was amazing. I appreciate you for allowing me to sit back with you for a second time, for the second interview, the second, what you guys say? Yeah, bro.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on with you?
Okay, so I just got this opportunity, Orlando's World, from what I understand. We're supposed to be doing some cool things. That was an opportunity given to me from you and Flossie. Definitely feel like it's a opportunity to do a 6-month situation before we do the Orlando Brown show, because a lot of people don't want me to do the show per se. There is a Hollywood couch that I have not been on. There is a Hollywood couch that a lot of people spin on and look forward to. Me personally, I haven't been looking forward to do that, but I'm definitely looking forward to do Orlando's World, the Orlando Brown show, after we see how I handle the podcast.
So we're doing a podcast. You're gonna have your own podcast on Cam Capone News. Me, you, Flossie. What can people expect?
Well, it's the mind of the producers that invited themselves into my life. Yeah, Flossie, got you. You guys have given me some great ideas. You know, what about you and Tekashi 6ix9ine going paintballing? What about you and Jamie Foxx just you know what I'm saying, just going doing whatever, just wine tasting or something. It's just a podcast, from what I understand, that will change the dynamic of podcasting, because everybody's sitting in their homes and they're getting an astronomical amount of Burger King money. If you work at Burger King, you can make this money sitting in your house if you have the right amount of material, or you have the right person sitting in front of your camera. So you can, anytime that person does well, you do well. Anytime you make some money, they make some money, but you make more. It's just a different situation.
Any response to 50? He jokes a lot online. He posted the picture, the video. What were your thoughts?
50's my brother, but 50 also know I'm not gonna stop. The same way he not gonna stop, I'm not gonna stop. We both come from a family called Violator family, so we ain't got no problem violating, number one. And number two, I think the most important thing about this back and forth with me and him is that people don't lose sight of how important it is to have a sense of humor, and it not be some where your skin ain't tough enough to be able to keep it as fun and games. We grew up snapping on each other and joking with each other from elementary school to being grown men. And you did that with your friends. Now, if we wasn't friends, there wouldn't be no games to play. But we got love, and it's genuine love. So I can indulge in this and laugh. It's okay to have a sense of humor and not be emotional like bitches. You know what I'm saying? So 50, I'm coming for your ass, bruh. Be careful.
A lawsuit is dismissed, charges are lessened, headlines are rewritten, and it suddenly appears as victory, even when it's merely procedure. The documentary reveals a modern misconception. Legal updates are seen as final judgments, and public perception is mistaken for truth.
On a lap tour, Busta Rhymes was opening up for you guys at one point.
Right.
The U.S. part, I think, of the tour?
Yeah. No, he came to some of Europe.
Oh, some of Europe tour?
Yeah.
Okay. Busta's a legend, by the way.
Yes.
One of the greatest hip-hop performers,
of course, yes.
Period. Him and Wyclef, I put near the very top out of all performers.
Okay.
But recently, 50 and Busta were going, having a friendly back and forth.
Oh, yeah, they put the picture. Yeah,
The picture.
I've seen, that's...
And 50 put, Busta cannot wear this to humor harmony.
Yeah, I mean, you know how 50 is, man. 50's crazy, man. It's all humor, man.
That outfit is
then
horrible,
I seen Busta post something up. But you see, you know, 50's crazy. He could dish what he takes. So you fuck with him on who you think is the 5 people? Let's think of the 5 people I would never want to argue with on the internet. 50. Who would you say? Look, hold on. Let me give my 5. 50. Charleston White. Right?
I've argued with him before.
But he keeps going with Charleston White. Whack 100, you would say?
Okay.
Who Who else would you put there? I know 50, Charleston White, Whack 100. Who
Kendrick Lamar.
I'm just we talking about Instagram. I mean,
okay, Instagram.
We talking about
he's not an IG guy.
I'm just saying. You love Kendrick right now. You ain't fucking with Drake right now. Come on, we got to be able to go to Canada.
I'm fucking with Drake. I'm a Drake fan.
Nah, I feel like it was a good battle, man. It was
a great battle. Okay, so I see where you're going with this.
I'm
okay,
saying
50,
like
social media.
50, you don't want to fuck with 50 on there. He'll kill you on the gram. I said Charleston White.
But the law is a process, not a punchline, and its results seldom satisfy the public's craving for simple answers. When legal intricacies can be spun into apparent innocence, what does true accountability even mean?
Crazy. Whack 100. Because Whack 100 will put up your address and all kinds of
1090 Jake.
You think 1090?
He'll put out some paperwork on you didn't even know existed.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different thing. I'm just saying like
Boosie.
Yeah.
Boosie will go hard at you.
Yeah.
Because remember, Boosie and Blue were going at it.
Boosie.
And then, unfortunately, Boosie's my man, but I don't agree. He basically pointed out that Young Blue's child, I think, was autistic, and he kind of took a shot at that.
I like Young Blue, Boosie. I like both of them. I try to stay out of it. Hopefully, they can work it out.
Yeah.
They both got a lot of money. I kind of stay out of their issues, but if they fuck with Blue hard, and niggas fuck with Boosie hard, but how it's the industry. You just stay out the way. You stay out of people's beef. When I got beef, I don't expect nobody to jump in anything for me.
Yeah, me too.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But you know how the industry is. You have to choose a side.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And trying to be neutral sometimes gets you messed up with both sides.
Right.
Both people stop fucking with you by being neutral.
Yeah, right. And people could look at it a certain way. That's like what you were saying with the game thing. Like, game at the show, that might have been.
By the end, the documentary implies the real conflict isn't 50 versus Bua, or even the presence of Diddy. It's the system that turns private history into public spectacle. Power networks, deliberate silence, strategic alliances, and viral manipulation combine into one reality. Hip-hop isn't merely music, it's politics with a beat. The ultimate tension is evident. Everyone says they want the truth, but few can endure it. And when honesty endangers careers, who will dare to speak it?